Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of your favorite program on Tuesday, the Political Update. Peace at last in PDP. After the storm, what next? The various factions of the party, according to the National Working Committee, in their 100th meeting held in Abuja, says all differences settled. But how far will this peace be? Will the PDP sink again? That is the big question we have to answer this afternoon on Political Update. But before I bring in my guests to discuss that, who also participated in the NEC meeting yesterday, one of the state chairmen of the PDP, let's just get a feel of what happened yesterday in one of the reports filed in by our PDP correspondent, Timothy Yusuf.
It was a chaotic situation this Monday morning at the national headquarters of the PDP. Some leaders scheduled a meeting under the banner of an expanded National Caucus meeting in place of an earlier proposed NEC, while another group insisted NEC must hold as planned. Deployment of security personnel to the premises, however, prevented an impending danger that later forced the party's board of trustees to hold its meeting at the Eradua Center, while the governors on the PDP platform held theirs at the Asokoro Bauchi State Governor's Lodge. In all, the meeting resolved all of the PDP lingering issues that thereafter culminated into a united meeting with an expanded caucuses from across the country under the banner of a NEC meeting at the national headquarters of the PDP.
I will still use the opportunity to call on party faithful to stop arbitrary demarketing of this party.
NWC, please don't allow a crack anymore.
Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Mohammed, on behalf of the forum, emphasized that the party's internal dispute resolution mechanism is working.
We are all on the same page. No excuse for coalition. No excuse to form any stakeholders meeting other than that of the NWC.
The meeting ended with the resolution that another NEC meeting holds on the 23rd of July 2025 to further address the party's upcoming national convention.
Just Turnah, who we saw towards the end of that report, is the acting state chairman of PDP Bayelsa State, zonal secretary south of the PDP, a legal professional, and also the lead convener of the new associates. You are welcome to Political Update.
Thank you, my brother Amir.
Yesterday you were in that NEC meeting, and the taking off was quite rough, but landing was safe. So, no coalition, no publication of press releases anyhow, because all factions of the PDP have settled their differences. And you too, you were having some of such issues. Two factions, PDP Bayelsa State, two factions, South PDP. So now, will you tell Nigerians that all that is now history?
Yeah, thank you. That is in itself the beauty of democracy. First, I'd like to congratulate the PDP, and then, of course, our leaders across board, the NWC and the Governors Forum, the BOT, and all of it. And more importantly, our leader, His Excellency Chief Nyesom Wike, and the G5, who mobilized critical stakeholders and eminent leaders of our party to ensure that justice, equity, and fairness, at the end of the day, prevail. Well, I've always said that the PDP is one of the strongest political party in Nigeria in terms of having strong institutions, and it has clearly played out. If you take away crisis or conflict, then there will be no politics, because politics in itself is conspiracy. Conspiracy, of people, a few, and all of that. But what matters at the end of the day is that the platform, the umbrella, the house, which we all belong to, the PDP, must remain strong and solid at all times. And then the interest of the majority of the members of the party, and by extension, the people of Nigeria, matters and must matter at all times. And that is what has played out. All the controversies, whether it is NEC meeting, whether it was going to be expanded caucus, we saw the whole drama with the BOT, and then our governors met and all of that. But at the end of the day, the interest of the party came paramount, and everybody collapsed all personal interests and ambitions, and you saw the smiling faces, of course, at the end of the day, coming out very strong. And it sends a strong message. PDP is a party, to believe in this country. PDP is a party to stay with, and PDP is a party to, to be relied upon. Now, what this means is that going forward, we have a united house and a solid platform. Disagreements, you don't give up on it. It will always come, because once you have a convergence of people from different backgrounds with diverse opinions and all of that, there will be clash in interest and all of that. But there's a clear, headway going forward. We have a national secretary, in the person of distinguished Senator Samuel Anyanwu, that is secretary for all, as we speak, as of today.
Okay, sorry to come in there. If you say secretary for all, but some members in the South Side, especially the South Side caucus, that has earlier submitted Sunday Okoye to Southeast rather submitted Sunday Okoye to replace Senator Anyanwu. Do you think these people were also carried along in this reconciliation?
Everybody, right, at leadership level, and every organ, every structure, as it were, including even formations within the PDP, pressure groups and all of that, holistically, every sector of our party were carried along in this process. You saw the meetings, the BOT engaging, the Governors Forum engaging, and the beauty is that, as at the time we all converged at what would have been expanded caucus meeting, for which we now agreed to have it as NEC, 100 NEC, all of the various interest groups came in unanimous. Even the BOT that, that met somewhere else, when they came in, the BOT chairman, in trying to read out the resolution reached by the BOT, also agreed that, look, even at the BOT level, consensus, Samuel Anyanwu continues as national secretary, and the Governors Forum, and that is the beauty of it. Anyanwu is secretary of the party today, and is secretary for all, or secretary for all members, secretary to all organs, all pressure groups, and what have you. It doesn't matter if anybody is happy or not, but what matters is that the PDP is now, set on a solid ground as we move ahead towards our convention and, of course, the 2027 election. For the Southeast Caucus, in yesterday's meeting, they were all there. Okay. Even the Okoye himself was there.
All right, it's good to know. But the some Wike factor is also one major one. And if my director can give me that clip, Wike track up, let's hear from Wike. At the 60th birthday of Senator Anyanwu, who is the national secretary, he made some statements, but sometimes these statements like that can ruffle feathers. If the track, my director can give me that soundbite, let's get to hear some Wike's position on the return of Anyanwu.
Nobody who fought a war and wins, don't go and beg, you have won. People should come and talk to you. I can't go to war and win a war, fought a war and win. Then you say, come. You will come to me. Come to me, because I won. And you have people like me. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm here. We have done it before. We'll do it again. Saraki may not be happy. The chairman. The legal advisor may not be happy. Don't fear me. Professor Jerry Garang may not be happy, but I'm happy. When you dey pain them, you dey sweet us. As they sweet us, you dey pain them. Are you sure? Are you ready to revive the party? Thank you, and God bless.
God bless Nigeria. That is Wike, the FCT minister, who is also a chieftain of the PDP. And people like Turnah belongs to the Wike family. So Turnah, how would you react to a statement like that coming from your godfather?
Yes, you, like you seen, the honorable minister, full of smiles, you know, that was a very beautiful moment. I mean, you could see relief even in him as he spoke there. It was a celebration of the fact that, look, peace had returned to the party. We had our battle, you know, period. But at the end, or in the end as it were, everybody, you see the jabs, you know, thrown at. What is, if you also look at the other end where Saraki, distinguished Senator Saraki was seated, all laughter. I mean, it was an environment, convivial environment, and we were all just catching fun. But again, there are some takeaway from Wike's speech there. You see, the battle, the war was not necessary in the first place, needless, you know, but we've gone through it. Now there is victory. It's factual. Whoever goes to that kind of battle and comes out victorious becomes a champion in some kind of way. You reign, and when you are reigning, people come to you. You know, so I think the takeaway for me is the fact that Wike is showing excitement. He's happy speaking to party members, Saraki and others. The other hand, Nigerian, they said it was all laughter. You know, we're all there. And the important thing is that you can't take away the role Chief Nyesom Wike played in this peace that have returned to the party. He would have assured, he would have assured, I'm coming.
Is it not part of the problem as well?
No, he was never part of the problem.
If you say he solved the problem, some will argue with you that he also created part of the problem.
No, he was never part of the problem. What was the problem that we had on our hands? The issue of national secretaryship. Where distinguished Senator Sam Anyango was elected as national secretary of our party. The constitution says he has a 4-year secure term, right? And that he cannot be removed except by convention. That's the constitution. And then the national Anyango went for an election. He faced screening committees. They cleared him. There was no resignation. He didn't tender any resignation letter to the screening committee, but he was cleared to go for a contest. He went for that elections. The election didn't favor. He resumed, continued his duty as national secretary, presided over the conduct of several congresses, from ward to state, up to zone, signing off as national secretary. Then there was an intervention from the Enugu State High Court that said, look, you step aside, you are no longer national secretary. He went on to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal affirmed it. The man went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said, no, you can't remove him, right? You don't even have jurisdiction in the first place. These are party internal issues of the party. Allow them to follow their constitution. You that went to court, you are a meddlesome interloper. You that they say you are now national secretary, you don't exist.
You are a lawyer, so when you bring those legal terms, sometimes you throw our viewers off balance.
Exactly. So now, at the end of the day, Anyango's appeal succeeded, right? The Supreme Court dealt with that appeal on its merit.
There are fears that some governors will leave your party.
I'm coming, sir. Sir. And Anyango had reliefs. He had prayers before the Supreme Court. One of those reliefs that, look, the judgment of the Court of Appeal and the State High Court that sacked me, set them aside. Now the Supreme Court granted those prayers and set aside those judgments. Now, Anyango's remover was sitting on those judgments. Now the judgment is taken off. What happens?
The party,
It returns back to office.
Okay.
That's why we say the crisis was not necessary in the first place. For those governors who are defective, it's politics. Politics is interest. Interest is personal, right? If you put your personal interest far and above the interests of your people, the people of your state who voted for you, the people of your state, the party that canvass votes for you. Remember our constitution and our electoral laws. No individual goes on the ballot. It is a party that actually contests in an election. So if the people voted for PDP and because you are carrying that mandate, you feel you can carry it and to anywhere, it's okay. Those who voted, they still have their terms. They still have their belief system. They still have their political leanings. When that day comes, almost like a judgment day, as we put it, when that day comes, judgment will be delivered and it will be clear and obvious.
All right.
Some may be favored. Their political movements may favor them. Some may cry at the end of the day.
Your governor,
But
there are rumors about
the
even your
PDP is
governor.
solid.
You are the chairman of PDP Bayelsa State, and your governor, there are rumors that the governor too may likely leave, and that was the same rumor we had about Akwa Ibom, and it came to pass. About politics, we also have the fear that one day you just turn out to my defect.
Well, in any case, like I said, politics is dynamic. Interest is paramount. Enemies today can be friends tomorrow. Wherever your interest is better served, that's where you find yourself. Ultimate goal is to be enabled, to bring happiness to the greatest number of people. And politics is local. If you are in a place and your people are not feeling your presence in that place, nothing stops you from moving. But you also bear the consequences, or you reap the benefits that comes with such movement. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit here and speak to rumors. When the governor of Delta State was moving, it wasn't rumored. People gathered in his residence, APC, and they addressed to say, look, we are going. That was the beginning.
So what
and
advice would
that
you...
started the conversation. In Akwa Ibom, the governor said, look, gentlemen, for XY reason, I'm going. And that was the beginning of the conversation. For Bayelsa, I haven't heard anything from the governor. The only thing I saw was that recently there was a state tour, they said it was a thank you tour, but I didn't see anybody thank, the PDP, as it were. Because it was the PDP that actually canvassed for votes, that brought victory.
That means
it was the PDP that went for that. So one would have expected that such a thank you tour would have anchored on the party, thank the people, thank the party, and then encourage the members of the party at that level. But again, all of that is in the realm of speculation. I won't address rumors or speculations.
Okay, so let's face physical. What advice will you give to the other members, other factions of South-South, PDP and that of Bayelsa State? Now that the national NEC yesterday, you sat on that seat as the state chairman.
Well, like I said, see, look, groupings and what you call leanings, some may call it faction, or say weakest faction, weakest group, Sheyi's faction, Sheyi group. All of those groupings and leanings and, whatever you have, they are normal. They are normal things. In politics, you must belong somewhere. There must be people who conspire, who meet, because, the politics in itself is control of scarce resources and apply it for the benefit of the people. Power game, so there must be those blocks, better put, So we won't take them away. But what I can tell you is that there are no factions. There are no factions at the national level.
Okay.
There are no factions. Back home in the South-South, there are no factions. In Bayelsa State, there are no factions. As it is today, I chair the caretaker committee of the party in the state, right? At the South-South level, Chief Dan Osiobe is a national vice chairman of our party, recognized both by members of the party in the South-South zone and recognized by the law. So there are no factions. And as we move on, of course, we're preparations for our conventions. The next NEC meeting is primarily about discussing our national...
On the 23rd
yes,
of
on the
July.
23rd, yeah. So it primarily will be to discuss going forward in our convention. And then once we're able to navigate ourselves through the convention process, because it's transition, you know, the term of in office of this present NWC will be expiring, you know, so we have our convention, we elect new sets of leaders, you know, at the NWC level, and then it's a new beginning for us, all the way to 2027, you know, as it were. But again, let me say that when people hear or see, you know, political thoughts and arguments and people pushing, it's politics.
Okay, Justin, I think that's the much you can take,
politics.
because your godfather, in some week, is on the street again in Abuja for the commissioning. The train is now on the street again. So you can see from that split, the event is there. So, and your principal is on, so I think you have to leave the stage for now for him. So for your boss. So that is the much we can take. Yes, that is the size of political update today. We hope to see you again on Friday with another fresh package. It's always my pleasure, Justin, hosting you. Thank you very much.
By the Vice President, His Excellency, the very distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, ranking members of the